Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Yes, hello?
Hello,
Hello.
good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Meeting starts at 9:30. We are waiting for everyone to join the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wala.
That's what happened.
It's weird how so, like, you want to send why says that?
Everybody.
Yeah,
How you doing?
you can how you doing? How are you? See me?
Yes, I see you.
Okay. Okay, good.
Who are you?
Abu Hamda?
You who?
Abu Hamda?
I see your name.
Okay.
This is waiting for court to start.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
Is it okay if I don't have the video? I can't get my video to work.
That's fine. You don't need your video.
Thank you.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I see three screens,
Okay.
a couple of gentlemen and a Cleveland signboard.
Perfect. That's all you need.
Thank you.
See this one. Uh-oh. This thing is
Excuse me, Maurice.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we get to hear like an order or number for us to be called?
Yes, once the meeting starts at 9:30 and everybody is here, they will call each case.
Yeah, but I
Give
mean,
you your opportunity to speak.
no, I mean, are you going to announce who's first and who's last?
They'll
I
just
mean,
simply go through the agenda that's been posted online and that you probably should have received.
uh, the agenda. No, I just got a general notice.
Yeah, no, they will not tell you. They'll simply call on you when it's your turn.
Okay, so we just have to wait then.
You'll just have to wait. Yes.
All right. Okay. Thanks for that information, Morris.
Sure. We should start here in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you.
What a day. Long day. About to be here. Comment. Comment.
Yeah, hello?
Can you see me?
Yes, yes, I can see you for sure.
Oh, my screen's so little.
Oh, you have the laptop?
I'm in office.
In the office in your laptop, right?
Yes, computer, yes.
Oh, okay.
Desktop. I'm just making sure. Okay. That
Okay.
should be, that should be. Is y'all screens real small or big?
No, mine is small.
Oh, everybody's small. Okay, okay, okay. This is violent.
Oh, okay, okay. It's and then yeah, everybody.
We got about a half an hour for everybody joining in.
Okay. Yeah, the screens is small.
Oh, you made it, Mr. Dank.
Yes,
All right.
kept pressing things and they kept responding. Who knew? It's
And
all
we have Howard. It looks like Howard made it too. Excellent.
Yeah.
And we can hear him. Excellent.
Christopher Robinson.
Yes, I'm right here. How you doing? I'm here.
Are you an appellant? Our meeting will start at 9:30. What are you here for? Which,
Costa Donor LLC.
I think you're,
One. Let me see if I have.
oh, you're down the list.
How long I gotta, what you mean? It'll be a while before I get started?
I'm not in charge. Carmela is, so I'll let you talk to her.
Right. That's the email I get from Carmela, right? Okay.
Yes. Your
Great.
docket is about 5th, but we'll see what happens.
All right, thanks a lot.
If you don't introduce yourself, maybe we can make it work.
Right.
Boy, oh boy.
Deontay Smith, are you here for the property located at 4208 Cedar?
Carmela, Mr. Robinson is here for, oh, there you are. That's second, Deontay Smith. Mr. Robinson is here for A9120, which is about 5th or 6th on the list.
Okay.
So it usually take about a half an hour before some fifth on the document. That's about a half an hour at least.
No, can't really say for sure.
All right, okay, cool, okay. Because all right, okay.
Sarap ng breakfast, darling.
I think it's 9.
Pagawa mo na lang.
Good morning, Dennis.
Ms. Smith, can you come to my office for a minute, please?
There, still on mute. Thanks. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, here's people. Smile, Howard.
You whispered.
We're on. We could be on.
Are you ready to go?
Well, it's 9:30 and we have some people here. We could, Carmela, we could take them as they come, right?
It's up to Carmela.
Yeah. Participants, could you please mute your mics?
وجهة الورقة.
Call. Okay, Mr. Dinkley, you can get started.
Okay, Maurice, you're going to put up the the preamble.
There you go.
Thank you. Cleveland Board of Building, Standards and Building Appeals is now in session. In compliance with notification requirements of Ohio's open meeting law under COVID-19 emergency declaration, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Orders. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting have the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen.
And Mr. Dank, I would just like to confirm for Miss Aston that we are streaming live. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're ready.
This is Patricia McGinty Aston for the City of Cleveland Law Department. Thank you, Maurice. We missed you last week. And we'd also like to object to the use of the chat under the Ohio Supreme Court rules. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, may the secretary please call the roll?
Mr. Maskey,
Carmella?
Here.
Mr. Bradley,
Howard?
Mr. Brown,
Here.
Mr. Dink,
Here.
Gallagher.
Here.
We have a
Thank you. Docket A8920, 17325 Euclid Avenue.
This is a commercial structure. It was cited for elevator violations. If the appellant for docket A89 17325 Euclid Avenue is present, please announce yourself for the record.
Anyone for docket for 17325 Euclid Avenue? Okay, we'll hold that. Next docket, A9520, 4208 Cedar Road.
Application and fees
Is
are
the
in
appellant
order.
present? Oh, he is, yes.
Application and fees are
Mr. Smith
Order.
is present.
noted. Notice of violation of the main structure issued on February 24th, 2020. The appellant is requesting for 6 months to complete abatement of the violation. For the owner of the property, please announce yourself for the record.
Mr. Smith? He was here. Mr. Smith, Cedar Road?
I think he's having some connection issues because I can see him. He's waving.
Is he muted?
No, he doesn't appear to be muted. I take it, Mr. Smith, you can hear us? Sir, you might want to try calling in addition to the using the app. That way we'd be able to hear you. The phone numbers are on the invitation that was sent.
Can we conduct the hearing if he can hear us?
Well, it looks like it looked like he was dialing a phone, so
Oh, okay, okay.
if you want to give him a couple more minutes, or do you want to come back to
No,
Mr.
we
Smith?
can-
It's up to you.
It sounds like he's trying to get in. Or was that your phone?
Looked like he was doing something that's hard to say.
Here we are.
Hello?
There we go. We can hear you now.
Okay, great.
So, Mr. Smith, could you please mute your microphone on the computer and turn your speakers all the way down?
Yeah, it is muted.
Okay,
And
You
then
need to
turn your
swear them in,
speakers all the way
Mr.
down that way.
Chairman.
the speaker's down.
All right, perfect. That'll get rid of the echo.
Mr. Chairman, if you could swear them in.
Have they been introduced? Okay,
Please state your name for the record.
solemnly swear the comments you're about to make are the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Proceed. Mr. Smith, can you state your intention? You wanted 6 months to complete abatement of the violations. Is that still your request?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Vanover?
So, Mr. Chairman, there are no permits currently pulled for this project. And, the violation notice was issued in, June of last year.
24th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a commercial structure. We don't object to more time, but it will require all the permits.
That won't be a problem.
Okay,
You're prepared, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, you're prepared to pull the permits and have contractors? Because this is a commercial structure, so it will require contractors.
That's not a problem. I'm a realtor in the state of Ohio, so yeah, I know exactly what I mean. I'm prepared to do everything necessary, to get it back up and running.
All right, so Mr. Chairman, we don't object to more time, but we would ask for 2 months to pull the permits and 6 months to abate the violations, and failure to meet either of those remands it back to the department.
okay. Any comments from board members? We'll do it that way then. The appellant is required to obtain his permits by April 15th and to complete abatement of the violations 6 months after that date with no extensions. Motion so in order. And I'd like to amend it and say that if either date has failed to be met, the property is remanded to the Division of Building Housing immediately. Motion so in order.
So move.
Second. Motion by Mr. Gallagher, second by Mr. Maskey. Call the roll.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Next docket. A 8620, 14815 Pepper Avenue.
Good morning. My name is Lucille
Application is-
Floresta. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you. You'll just
All
wait
right.
till Carmelo reads Ms. Davis reads the case, and then
Thank
you'll be
you.
sworn in. Thank you.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is a combination of the main structure issued February 18, 2020. Appellant is requesting time to complete abatement of the violation. Present for the hearing, Tom Vesper, Building and Housing, Patricia Ashton Law, and the appellant. Would you please repeat your name for the record?
Yes, my name is Lucille Floresta, owner of the house at 14815 Pepper Avenue.
Okay. Solemnly swear or affirm the comments you're about to make are the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay. Proceed. Ms. Floresta.
Yes, I did send a letter last year requesting for an extension, and that was at the time that I prepared that request. But at this point in time, I have financial hardship that I believe I will not be able to spend all the required repairs and corrections required by the Board of Building Standards and Building Appeals, and therefore I intend to relinquish myself the possession of this property.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, who are you relinquishing it to?
I'm sorry.
Who are you said you're relinquishing yourself from the property. Who are you giving it to?
That's what I am trying to explore, if it can be sold or donated.
Okay, so yeah, so the city doesn't take property like this. So unless you have somebody that you're working with privately to either sell it or donate it to, you're still, Mr. Chairman of the appellate, you're still responsible for either tearing it down or repairing it. So, Mr. Chairman, we would ask, it doesn't feel like there's enough funds to repair it, and there's no real plan. We would ask that you deny any more time and remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing.
Okay.
I mean, you can see by the photographs that
There's
the
almost
property's
nothing
done.
left.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's in really bad shape.
yes. A motion is ordered to deny the request for any additional time and to remand the property immediately to the Division of Building and Housing. Motion so in order?
So move.
Motion, Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second, Mr. Maskey.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. May I ask a question, please?
Yeah, yes.
So what does that actually mean? The motion that you just stated, what does that actually mean? I would like to understand.
Mr. Vanover?
Well, it means that by remanding it back to the department, that means that you're still responsible for abating the violations, be it either tear it down yourself, pay someone to tear it down with a permit, or repair it.
So are you saying it will be a different department that I have to speak with regarding my intent to relinquish possession?
Well, it's not a different department. There is no department. You can try and work with whomever. I mean, you still have the right to sell or donate the property, understanding that you will still be responsible for the violations until it's corrected. So even if you donate the property or you sell it, you're still responsible for the cost if the city has to tear it down. And you can try and speak to the city land bank or county land bank. But that's outside of all of this. We will, the Department of Building and Housing will still require you to correct it. Or or get it corrected even after you dispose of.
Okay, so I'm still in the position of financial hardship and does not have the resources to make the corrections that is extensively needed for this house. So
Mr. Chairman, if I may, Patricia McGinty Aston on behalf of the City of Cleveland Law Department. Ms. Floresta, although the city is empathetic with your problems because many people are having issues and financial problems, you bear the burdens of ownership as well as the benefits. And unfortunately, the burden is that you are responsible and you have to do something. The law requires you either pull permits and demolish the property or pull permits and fix the property. And although you have financial difficulties, the law does not take that into account with regards to your ownership responsibility. So you need to take all the steps necessary to do whatever you need to do regarding this property because you are responsible under the law. And again, although we're empathetic and we see this regularly, the board has denied your request for time, and that means you have to do whatever you need to. The burden is on you to look into it. You need to check with your council person, your community development court. Maybe they know somebody, but the burden is on you to do stuff, not the city. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. That's the answer. Mr. Gallagher?
Yeah, you have to call roll.
Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes.
Next docket, thank you. Next docket, A 8720, 1291 Holmden Avenue.
Yes.
Application and fees are in order. Not quite sure what the violation notices are for this property. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing. Ashton Law. If the appellant is present, please state your name for the record.
Hamza Abu Hamda.
Okay, but I'll swear you all in. Please, solemnly swear or affirm the comments you're about to make are the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay,
And I'm Corey Reardon with Tremont West, and I'm here for this hearing, and I do as well.
I'm sorry, who's you? Corey, you said?
Corey Reardon with Tremont West, and I'm here for the hearing as well. And
Mr. Corey,
do
how
as
you
far as
doing?
swearing.
I'll swear you in as well. Solemnly swear or affirm the comments you're about to make are the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
What is your position in this?
So, Mr. Chairman, if we
Oh,
can,
yeah.
before
Mr.
we get to
Vanover.
that, Mr. Abu Hamda, do you have a violation number that we've issued from the City of Cleveland Building Department?
No.
So because we're trying to figure out what the nature of the appeal is, and
When did you guys receive the appeal? I'm sorry to me. I don't mean to cut you off. When did you guys receive the appeal? What date?
Ms. Davis.
I received it 2020. You mailed in an application.
Okay. And why, Mr. Corey, are there? Why you are there? Just to understand why you are there.
The councilman cannot be here. He is in budget hearings. He was curious as to why this was on the docket. The house has been demolished, and he was just curious because it was blacked out as to what the extent of this was.
Okay, so you're just listening.
Patricia McGinty Aston for the City of Cleveland Law Department. Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, Mr. Abu Hamda, Did you raise this property?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Did
I
you,
what?
did you tear down this property?
No, actually, the city, they did tear this property, and Mr. Corey, I'm shocked that he knew that they demoed the property, and I don't know, I don't understand why he on this meeting. He knew.
Well, Mr. Chairman and Mr. Abahamda, we're not sure why any of us are on this meeting because what was the appeal statement or the violation notice? The property was issued a notice of, it was demolished by the city based off of an old violation from, let me look that up. And, the appeal statement was, the appeal was submitted.
To stop the demo.
So the violation notice was issued in 2013, and the city of Cleveland has boarded this structure multiple times. There was permits for rehab issued in 2013, but closed non-compliant because there was no work done. So and so you said that you filed an appeal. You filed an appeal to stop the demolition, but you didn't have the violation. The time to appeal the violation had expired.
Yes, yes, and I did pull another permit, I believe, in 2018, also well, and it was expired as as well too.
Right. So there's two rounds of permits for rehab that were pulled. Both were closed non-compliant under the Ohio Residential Code of Ohio. The plan approvals were found invalid due to work being abandoned. Those were closed, and then subsequently a demolition permit was issued and the property was raised. I don't believe they're standing in this matter to pull in a permit to stop the demolition. That this is, and Ms. Aston, if you can chime in, this is not the venue to do that once you have exhausted your administrative appeals.
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
But what action should the board has no,
Well, because we're here, Mr. Chairman, we ask that the board deny any more time, deny an extension, and deny the request to the appellate's request and remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing.
The house is gone anyway, so
I understand.
Chairman, Secretary to the Chairman, what to put in the resolutions, because as I emailed you before, couldn't find anything on the property. So exactly are we denying? So I can make it clear in the resolution.
any additional time for any purpose, noting that the building has been demoed?
And that, Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
that the building has been raised and that the administrative appeal period for the violation notice has expired.
Motion is ordered to deny the request for additional time, noting that the building has been raised and that the time limit for any appeal has expired. Motion so in order.
So moved.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Gallagher, second by Mr. Maskey.
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yeah.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Miss,
Yes. And Carmelo, the appellant has stated that he was filing the appeal to stop the demolition. If you have to put something in the record as to what his appeal was, if that's the question you were asking earlier. So he has stated that in this meeting. So there you go.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. Okay, next docket. A 8820, 12098 Chesterfield.
Application and fees are in order. No violation is a condemnation of the main structure. Issued March 12, 2020. Appellant requests for more time to abate the violation. Hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing. Patricia Ashton Law. Present, please state your name for the record.
I am present, Marissa Centine George, owner of Raven Property Acquisitions, LLC.
Marika George.
That is me.
Marika Centine George. Excuse me.
Yes.
Solemnly swear or affirm the comments you're about to make are the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay.
So good day, everyone. I am here today because I purchased this property last June 2020. I did go through a title company, so I took all of the steps. One of the things that I was surprised about is that it was on the condemned list. When we received the cert from the city before I purchased it, and I have the cert here in front of me, it stated that it did not have any violations, nor did the property, nor was the property on the condemned list, which is why I went ahead and completed the purchase of the property. In July, I went down to the property, had it fully cleaned out on the inside and the outside, and I had it boarded up. The goal is to rehab the property, so I'm requesting more time because I received information from the city that basically was false. Once I received the paperwork, I called in and I spoke to multiple people, including the supervisor, who stated that they could not understand how someone could fill out the cert and not show that there was violations and it was on the condemned list because they can see it there in the computer.
Okay, so you're proceeding with the city of Cleveland on the issue.
I spoke with the city of Cleveland, and that's why I'm here. They told me to go ahead and appeal it, although we went back and forth, and I stated to them that they provided me basically what I see as fraudulent paperwork. This paperwork should hold up in court, and according to the paperwork, they said that there were no violations and that the property was not on the condemned list. Had I had the correct information, I would not have purchased the property. I've been involved in multiple purchases and sales of property in Cleveland. I decided to keep this one because it was not on the condemned list and there were no violations, but that was incorrect information that I received from the city.
Mr. Matika or Mr. Vanover, would you like to make a comment at this time, please?
So, excuse me. Yes, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, who is Rand Romano? I have an additional certificate, and the information that you provided is accurate. It does appear that there was a certificate of disclosure issued that stated that it was not condemned. But I've got another certificate of disclosure issued to a Rand Romano. Is this property for sale currently?
Rand Romano reached out to me to purchase the property. We did not complete it, so I'm not sure what he's doing. We were having some, honestly, he doesn't speak English very well, so we were having some communication issues, and I have not heard from him in over a week. So I'm not sure what's going on his end, but we haven't completed any type of purchase or sale or anything like that.
So, Mr. Chairman, due to the circumstances, we don't object to more time to make the corrections to the property that are required. However, my concern is that, to state for the record, if the expectation, Ms. George, is for you to abate the violations and basically fix what needs to get fixed, we don't object to more time. But if the expectation is just to sell the property, then we would object. Understanding that under the city of Cleveland's ordinances, even if you sell the property, you would still be jointly responsible for the cost of demolition if the city were to tear it down.
Okay, that's understood. And that's what I didn't want. Like, I can't speak for anyone else, but I sure enough did not want to be in this position. But I do have a question. You mentioned Rand Romano. What is his name on the property?
So the same document that you requested through the title company for the purchase, the certificate of disclosure, on January 13th, 2021, his title company, which is, let me see.
Innovative Title?
Yes, Innovative Title requested a certificate of disclosure and as well. So then that just indicates that there is a intent to purchase.
Yeah, but he, let me find a word. He's not serious, so I've decided to go ahead and keep it, and I would like time to go ahead and fix it due to the fact that I was given incorrect information. Thank you.
How much time?
I would say, if I'm being honest, about 9 months.
Okay, so typically, Mr. Chairman, typically for residential property, our extreme timeline is 6 months. We don't object to a 6-month extension to make the corrections and get the property repaired and get a certificate of occupancy.
Okay.
But it's up to the board.
Is that 6 months from today's date?
The board will rule.
Okay.
So that's the city's position is 6 months. What we asked, like at the longest date, but it's up to the event. Mr. Dank and the board will make a decision.
It's going to be September 1st.
Okay.
A motion is in order to grant the appellant until September 1st to complete abatement of the violations. Motion so in order.
So moved.
Second. Motion, Mr. Gallagher, second, Mr. Bradley. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Mashpee,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay. Thank you all. Next docket, A 9020, 1818 West 58th Street.
Hi, I'm
Application
Natalie.
fees are notice of
Okay, well-
violation. Application in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance issue 22nd, 2020. Appellant is requesting for 6 months to complete abatement of the violation. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Patricia Ashball. If the appellant is present, please state your name for the record.
Natalie Green.
He is, okay. Do solemnly swear or affirm the comments you're about to make are the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
And Ms. Green does also. Ms. Green, you asked for 6 months to abate the violations. Is that still your request?
Yes, please.
Pardon me?
Yes.
Yes. Any comments, Mr. Vanover?
Mr. Chairman of the appellate, is this house owner occupied? Do you live here?
Not currently.
Is your expectation to live here?
Yes. And I lived there in the past.
Okay, so, this is and you have the funds to make the repairs and to do what needs to be done on the house?
Yeah, I have a couple of things that I would like to say if that's possible. I made a list so I don't veer off the course.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I really do love this house and I genuinely want to fix it. I'm approached all the time to sell it and I'm not interested. And I'm really sorry and embarrassed by the state that it's in. I bought it with a former partner in 2010 who, once we moved in, it was an unhealthy relationship and he was asked to leave. The police were involved, but he left in 2014 and hasn't contributed anything since. So I was maintaining the inside, but really hesitant to put any major funds into the outside while he was on the lease. But obviously it's gotten out of hand. With the help of a lawyer, I've recently got him to agree on a price to buy him out so that I can be on the title and mortgage myself. My parents are giving me my inheritance to get him off and to begin the repairs, although I've also been in contact with, Dean Pavlik from Heritage Home Project to help me with the repairs, some funding as well. Due to COVID-19, I was basically unemployed from March to September. I'm in arts education, and recently I've gotten a job with a mortgage company so that I can handle the refinance. So the first thing was the paint. Obviously, it's in terrible, terrible condition. And I got a quote, but they said they can't do any of the painting until I fix the carpentry that needs to be done. You can see it in the lower corner and some of the pieces missing from the top as well. And then I talked to the carpenter and they said, well, the porch is shifting, and so you can't do any of that until you get a mason. So I currently am under contract with a mason who's set to begin as soon as the weather permits. He is supposed to be pulling permits. I'm not sure if they are currently pulled yet or not, but this is Manfred Masonry, and I have the contract here to begin the mason work. So as soon as that's done, so I began the new job to start the refinance so that I can get everything in my name. I love the house. I intend to do the work correctly and without the Franklin West Clinton Development Committee. And I have a list of things that I've completed and things that are happening going forward. If I have like 1 more minute to tell you those things.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, so you've been in contact with your inspector, Ms. Gregg, on this?
Yes.
And I appreciate, we appreciate what, everything that you've explained. This is a beautiful house.
Yes.
And in a beautiful neighborhood.
Yes.
So we don't object to more time. I will tell you currently there are no permits applied for. So you're definitely going to want to make sure before you give your contractors any money that they show you the permit that's been pulled.
Okay.
With the exception of funding the permits, which is, a couple $100 or whatever. But just be sure that they present you with the permits going along. We don't object to more time, Mr. Chairman, to make the repairs. And then once the permits are pulled, if there's additional time needed, then you can work with the inspector to get that additional time, whether, can impact these things. And being that it's going to be owner occupied, because currently there is a rental registration on the property.
Yes, I updated it because I also got a notice on that, and I didn't realize that was a thing. So anyway, I updated it for the year just so that I wasn't in violation, but there's no one currently living there.
Okay. So we don't object to more time, and wish you luck on the repairs.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. A motion is in order to grant the appellant September 1st, 2021 to complete abatement of the violations. Motion.
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat that, please? Repeat that, please.
Yes, a motion is ordered to grant September 1st, 2021 to complete abatement of the violations.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Maskey, second Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Maskey,
Call the roll, please.
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Dink, and
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Dwight McKinney.
Uh,
1 second, Mr. McKinney.
Okay. Next docket, 9120, 3279 East 118th Street.
Application and fee. Notice of violation is condemnation of the main structure and your maintenance. Condemnation was issued on December 2012. Exterior maintenance was issued on August 1st, 2019. Mr. Robinson, please mute your mic.
He has their microphone on. Mr. Gray, solemnly swear or affirm the comments you are about to make are the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? We do.
I do.
Who is the appellant for this property? Please state your name for the record. I don't.
Is that Costa Dornis? Who is that? Who's present, or who is representing the appellant?
Yes. Logan. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
You just appeared.
Okay, I'm here for Costa Dornis.
State your name for the record.
Okay.
I'm Randy Gray.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, will you please swear in Mr. Gray?
Solemnly swear or affirm the comments you're about to make are the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Proceed. What are your plans? You're representing the appellant. What are your plans for the property? Mr. Gray?
Every word you say is, I can't really hear a word, like it's getting choppy. I can't really understand anything said.
So, Mr. Gray, what are your plans for the property?
I don't usually have trouble with my microphone.
No, it's just,
He's having connection issues. You can see the swirling indicator.
What do we do here? Mr. Gray?
Mr. Gray?
Can you hear us?
For the property, well, I can some words. The plan for the property is to renovate the property. We're looking to pull permits soon as possible. We just need 6 months for the renovation.
Okay, so you're going to proceed, obtain the permits, and then abate the violations within 6 months. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes, all we need is 6 months, and we'll have everything completely taken care of.
Okay. Mr. Vanover, do you have any questions?
So, Mr. Chairman, I do have some comments. The city is, we've boarded this property as early as September of 2020. And there's several board up actions. This property has been condemned and it has been submitted and approved for demolition through the city's demolition bureau.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you. I hear like every fifth word. I only hear like one word, and I can't really hear.
Can you hear me when I talk?
I can hear you now.
Okay,
So I'm gonna try to.
He stated. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna try to call in.
Mr. Chairman, I just advised the appellant to call in so he can hear the conversation.
Okay, it looks like he's doing that.
To try to call it.
So we'll wait for that.
Well, y'all waiting for him. My name is Dwight McKinney, and I'm talking for my wife, Tracy L. Wilson.
And what is your docket number?
I don't have that on me. My address is 904 73rd Street, Cleveland, Ohio, 44103.
East 73rd. We don't have that.
So I got a letter in the mail. All the houses have been around me had been tore down. and they want to know was I was going to sell my property. And my house is in probate court right now because my wife had passed. So I'm just trying to figure out, you know, what's going on.
Sir, did your letter come from the City Board of Building Standards, or did your letter come from somewhere else?
It came from City of Cleveland. I don't know.
Who's it signed by?
That day I don't know. I got to look at my phone.
Okay,
My
we'll have
daughter
to defer to Ms. Davis as to whether, did you file an appeal with the Board of Building Standards?
No, I didn't do nothing. I just got a letter in
Okay,
the mail.
hold on, sir. So, Mr. Chairman, I would defer to Carmelo to be able to figure out
Okay.
if he has anything, because it sounds like he may not even have an appeal.
Right. Thank you.
I'm gonna look at my phone and see the number you was looking for because I took a picture of the letter in my phone. So I'm gonna look at my phone and then I'll get back with you. I'm gonna put you on mute.
What are you looking at, Howard?
We're on two different cases here.
No, he doesn't have a case.
I mean, that's
you
what
heard
I'm
what he
saying.
was
Yeah, we're just waiting. He just started talking because we had a break, Mr. Bradley, because we're waiting for Mr. Gray to call in.
I'm on the phone also if you all can hear.
There you go,
This is
Mr. Gray. There you go.
Yes.
Okay. We're back on 118th Street.
Yes.
Mr. Gray?
Yes.
You can hear us now.
Yes, I can hear perfect now. Before I couldn't hear.
Mr. Vanover, would you restate the situation, please?
So if you could, Mr. Chairman, bear with me 1 second.
Right.
Mr. Chairman, I apologize. I was looking into this property. So there's a active demolition permit on this property. The city's boarded it up several times. The Department of Building and Housing and the City of Cleveland has done an asbestos survey and an asbestos abatement on this property. It's been condemned since the condemnation was issued in 2019. So I'm trying to understand, where this appeal is coming from as far as the dates for the appeal. But any extension of time for this property would require that the city be made whole for any funds and any monies that have been spent on it.
So can we tell him who to speak to at the city to look at the records and see what's going on? Because I don't think he knows.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I would say, was this properly, his appeal, was it proper for him to have been able to appeal this?
Well,
in other words, is he outside of the time? That's what I'm asking.
It was first condemned in December of 2012. And then it was cited again in August of 2019. So, Ms. Davis. Carmela? Mr. Gallagher questioned whether they were whether they had whether they were eligible for appealing or whether they exceeded the dates. Now you're having trouble.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Loud
Yeah.
and clear.
Okay. The issue here is, of course, this appeal came in during the time that down. What wasn't clear is when the notification of the exterior maintenance 2019. So I made the assumption notification of an exterior maintenance violation that
Yes,
was
we were
issued in
unaware.
2019.
We
and
were
was
unaware,
trying
so we
to,
filed.
Mr. Gray, 1 second,
Oh, sure.
was asking for more time exterior maintenance violation. Upon the research that I was able to see, so an open condemnation violation on the property as well. So I clarification on if the property was actually condemned and they didn't have the correct C of O to, or is that was issued in error, or is it was just an exterior maintenance on the property?
Mr. Vanover, can you help us with that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So the property was condemned and was actively condemned, as you stated, in 2012. At that time, the owner was Intercity Investments. It appears that this is now transferred to the current owners, which are, how is that said? Costadonis LLC owns it. There was no certificate of disclosure for the transfer of this property. And there was an exterior maintenance violation subsequently issued because of conditions around the property. So that being said, I still, again, this is the exterior maintenance violation notice was issued in August of 19. And Mr. Chairman, to Ms. Davis, when was the appeal statement received? The request for appeal?
I received it August 26th of 2020. So I would Nick took possession of the property, right? Transfer of property. As a new owner?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Mr. Vanover, do you have a comment on that?
Well, Mr. Chairman, that would be for the legal folks to make the determination if the transfer of property allows another right to appeal.
Oh, okay.
A violation notice that was issued more than a year prior, but also understanding that we are here, and if Ms. Aston can opine on that. Does the transfer of the property grant the right to appeal for exterior maintenance a year after its issuance?
Ms. McGinney Aston.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have seen none of these. I cannot opine on something I have not seen.
What do you mean by seen? Seen the written word or seen the property?
Mr. Chairman, I've seen none of these dockets. I've seen none of the filings. I can't render an opinion on something I don't have anything in front of me. I was not given anything. So
Okay,
I defer to Mr. Vanover on all of this.
So well, if that's the case, then Mr. Chairman, I would state that the appeal is not timely. It's a year after the exterior maintenance was issued, and it was issued to on a condemned property. So we're not even speaking to the condemnation. We would ask that you deny more time. This property has been abandoned and neglected. It's been condemned since 2012. The city has put money into the actively demolishing the structure. And the way that it sits now, it's an occupied structure that is condemned, which is contrary to law. The city has boarded it up several times and spent taxpayers' dollars. So we would ask that you deny more time for the exterior maintenance and deny the appeal, stating that I believe that it is untimely because it was, and there was no certificate of disclosure issued on the property. Had the certificate of disclosure been issued, the purchaser would have been made aware at that time that there were exterior maintenance issues.
Right. Okay. A motion is in order to deny the request for additional time, noting that the appeal had for time has been requested out of after the expiration date of the ability to do that. The property is remanded at this time to the Department of Building and Housing. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Astor?
For the record, this is Carmela Davis.
Oh, okay. Ms. Davis.
Yeah, I record that this property transferred to the new owners from the county website 2019. The exterior maintenance violation was issued.
It said August of 2019.
Right. Oh, I just wanted to make that clear for the record.
Okay. It's in the record. Where were we? We're
Take the roll.
I think we're hit. Motion so in order.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Maskey.
Second.
Second, Mr. Gallagher. Call the roll, please.
Yes.
Mr. Brad,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The next docket, A9220, has been withdrawn. There will be no action by the board. Docket A90, that is correct. The Ashburton,
docket A9220 has been withdrawn.
okay, thank you. Next docket, A9420, 3685 East 143rd Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of damage issued on August 12, 2020. Appellant is requesting for 6 to complete abatement of the violation. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Patricia Ashton Law. If the appellant is present, please state your name for the record.
Mark Stone.
Thank you. Solemnly swear or affirm the comments you're about to make are the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do.
Proceed, Mr. Stone.
Well, at the time that I submitted the request, I was in the process of selling the property. That property has sold to Hope Investment LLC. It transferred November 4th. And I talked to Anthony. I'm not sure if I sent him the link. I'm not sure if he's here. Hopefully, maybe he'd step up. But I know they are in the process of rebuilding the property. The scope of work was just out of my scope. So at this point, I did request 60 days because I was trying to sell the property. I didn't really, I guess, understand how this works, but I do, on their behalf, would request from you to allow them 6 months. I know that he just acquired a loan to remodel the property. I'm not sure if we would be aware of any permits pulled, weather permitting. I know they have a roof is the first thing they're going to do.
Okay. Mr. Vanover will have some comments on this. I think that we have to make some adjustments. Mr. Vanover?
So, Mr. Chairman, there are currently there are no permits pulled on this property. There's the complaint for the fire and the violation notice, and then the certificate of disclosure from the sale. Being that it is a new owner and the property is transferred, I respect Mr. Stone's acknowledgement that the scope was out of his wheelhouse, but we would ask that you deny more time. The new owner can pull permits and rehab the property and do all of those things, and then the Residential Code of Ohio will take over for timelines. But the way it stands is that Mr. Stone has the responsibility to make the corrections because he was issued an order. He just doesn't have the ability because he doesn't own the property anymore.
And so what, don't you have to recite the new owner? I thought I'd heard that a couple times.
Currently the new owner has not been cited to correct it. Correct. So we would cite the new owner for the violations. However, to be clear, that doesn't alleviate Mr. Stone's responsibility for correcting it because he was also issued a notice of violation. And you can't abate your responsibility to correct violations by transferring the property.
Correct. I guess I'm not trying to abate that or sidestep it. I guess in this process, I have hold a lien on that property in the event that the work is not completed in a timely manner. I actually have 90 days to call the note and acquire the property back. I guess I'm confused since it's my 40,000 the city's holding for a demo. Why I would not be allowed 6 months to complete, an $80,000 remodel.
Well, you might be. That's why you're here.
Yes, that's what I'm requesting.
If it was uncomplicated, that's why you're here.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, so you said that you have a lien that allows you to reclaim it. Your testimony was that you didn't own it, that you sold it.
Correct.
So my statement was, and yes, the escrow money the city is holding is escrow money from the insured until such a time as the violations are corrected.
Correct.
I guess I can repeal my statement that you don't have the authority to fix it, because if you do have the authority to fix it, I don't know what your deal is with the new owner. I was basing it off of the fact that you said you didn't own it and you sold it.
Well, yes, that's correct. I did sell the property, and I'm expecting them to, do their due diligence, obviously. But I'm the one in monetary risk here, as you see. Because I'm ultimately, by the city bound, to have that property demoed, or the city will demo it at my dollars.
Mr. Vanover, we can award him time and he can proceed. That might be easy for everybody. It just
I would hope, but
let's go on how much time do you think this would take to fix?
Mr. Chairman, if we remand it, he can fix it anyways. There's nothing, he can always step up and do the permits and do what he has to do. I don't know if you want to delay this out another 6 months but I'm just saying, I think we might be better off remanding it. He can always fix it if he wants to, or follow up with the new owner or whatever's going to happen there.
That's what I was thinking we do it, but give him some time, right?
Yeah.
Not if you remand it, but I don't know. See what Mr. Maskey says.
Robert, Mr. Maskey.
I'm trying to get my unmiked.
We woke him up.
I don't see why we can't give him more time if it's a short time period.
Well, he only wanted 60 days. That's an excellent question. Mr. Stone, you asked for 60 days. Is this a minor, a fix-up? How long do you think
No.
it takes?
The insurance company estimated $250,000 damage. I mean, there's a roof that needs to be rebuilt. I estimate the third floor to be redemoed and the second floor as far as the interior. So I'm estimating probably about $45,000 to $60,000 of repair. Probably, you know, a good 6 months. You know, this property acquired a fire.
Give them till September 1st. Let me propose that to the board. September 1st.
I'm good with it.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
Motion order to grant the appellant until September 1st, 2021 to complete abatement of the violations. Motion so in order.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Maskey, second, Mr. Gallagher. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Dink, Mr. Gay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello?
Next docket, A9620, 4076 East 56th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice is interior and exterior maintenance issued September 1st, 2020. Appellant requested time to abate the violations. Present hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Patricia Ashton Law. If the appellant is present, please state your name for the record.
Mr. Eibler, 4076, is anyone present? Let's proceed.
Mr. Chairman, Patricia McGinty Aston for the City of Cleveland Law Department. Mr. Chairman and Ms. Davis, did the notice of today's public hearing return to the board's file for any reason? And Mr. Chairman to Ms. Davis, did you receive any communication from this appellant Eugene Eibler for this property, 4076 East 56, either voicemail, phone call, email, etc.?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The appellant has been properly notified and this board can proceed under due process. Thank you.
Thank you. Solemnly swear or affirm the comments you're about to make are the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I
So
do.
help you God. Thank you. Mr. Vanover, what is this property doing?
So, Mr. Chairman, it is, this is part of our rental property inspection. It was inspected by Inspector Turek. And to my understanding, it is currently rented and occupied. So I don't know why the appellant is not present. We would ask that as an investment property, that it be any more time be denied and that it be, remanded back to the department. There's several, looking through the violation notice, there's several issues that need to be maintained, including electric service panels, there's sink drains, there's there's many issues that need to be taken care of on the inside and the outside.
Well, if it's electric panels, yeah, and that's got to be hazardous by definition.
Yeah, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman,
Any
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, Ms. Davis also has heard from the councilman. She wants to report on that.
I think her comment was that he requested no time.
That's exactly right.
I think I know that.
Okay, well, we'll just
Okay.
state it for the record.
All right, thank you. A motion is ordered to deny the request for additional time, noting that the property is in hazardous condition, and the appellant isn't present. Motion so in order.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bradley.
Second.
Second, Mr. Maskey. Call the roll, please.
Yes.
Mr. Bradley? Mr.
Yes.
Nan- Mr.
Yes.
Gallagher? Mr. Gallagher?
Yes.
And we held one.
Yes. First one.
Okay. Next docket, 8920. 17325 Euclid Avenue.
Application
Ms.
and
Davis,
fees are in order. The notice of
you.
violations is an elevator violation. If the appellant is present, please state your name for the record.
He's
Also
still not,
present for the
okay.
hearing, Tom Hanover, Building and Housing, to Ashton.
Okay, solemnly swear or affirm the comments you're about to make are the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth. So
I
help
do.
you God.
Mr. Chairman, it's Patricia McGinty, Aston City, Cleveland Law Department. Ms. Davis, what day did you get this appeal taken in? It says was the elevator noticed February of 2020? Or am I looking at the wrong thing here?
February 6th. Oh, you're doing something else.
Okay, I received the notice I received their appeal July 2020. However, I couldn't get access to the violation.
And
I
can you
just
read their
received the-
appeal into the record?
But you read the violation first. Please.
Well, she said she couldn't get access to it. So if she could read what the appeal says, maybe we can figure out backwards.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, so the appeal statement states that elevator unit number is not in use and is locked. Elevator unit number grandfathered and originally installed by Parker Hannafin. Elevator unit number 4 was operated by the Cleveland Clinic, former owner of Shadow Park. Elevator unit 4 is not used by the public at any time. Elevator unit number 4 is only used by qualified and maintenance personnel. And the gate slide and glass of elevator unit number 4 are currently being repaired. The maintenance department is waiting for necessary parts. And the owner had given a Lance B. Johnson authority to file the appeal.
Okay, so it sounds like it's elevator number 4 that's the problem. Ms. Davis, and since the appellant did not appear, did the notice of today's public hearing get returned to the board for any reason whatsoever? And Mr. Chairman, to Ms. Davis, did the board receive any contact from this appellant or the appellant's representative that they named in the appeal statement as authority to proceed on this appeal? Any voicemail, phone call, or email?
No.
So, Mr. Chairman, it appears that there, from what Ms. Davis has read into the record and testified, it's a violation for elevator number 4. They were properly notified, and the notice was not returned to the board. I will defer to Mr. Vanover and your determination whether to hear this. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we have to hear from the appellant. Is this the Parker Hannafin executive offices, or was it?
Yes.
I think that's the first job we ever did, that I ever did.
Did you do the elevator?
I was just going to ask if you did elevator number 4.
No, we put in the anodized drills and the inline fans and centrifugal compressors. It was a
You
very
can't
nice
testify,
job.
Mr. Chairman. It was a joke. You have to have the
Mr.
appellant.
Chairman, I would, unless Mr. Vanover is gonna give time, I would remand it so that we get them back in to talk about it, or they can get back with the city.
So
I like that tactic.
Mr. Chairman, just for the record, I mean, these are all common elevator concerns, right?
Yeah.
The code is very clear. If you have an elevator, it has to work the way that the code requires it to work, and it has to be tested the way the code requires it to be tested. So you can't just lock them out without putting them out of service, and you can't just state that only qualified personnel are running it. The code is very specific on how passenger elevators work and what is required to put them out of service or to take them down. So it sounds like there's an actual appeal of the violations themselves, not necessarily just a request to have them 4 more times. So we would ask that
No,
you
that's
uphold
right.
the notice as properly issued, deny the appeal, and remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing.
We'll do that. A motion is in order to deny the appeal and to remand the property to the Department of Building and Housing.
And Mr. Chairman, find that the violation notice was properly issued.
And note that the violation notice was properly issued and the appellant was not in attendance for the hearing. Motion so in order.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Maschke.
Second.
Second, Mr. Bradley. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Brad,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Next item of business is approval of resolutions for the following A-20 resolutions: 89, 95, 86, 87, 88, 90, 91, 92, 94, and A-96-20. Any additions or corrections?
Mr. Chairman, you just read today's docket, though that's not what's listed on the screen.
I did.
Right.
Yes, I did. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay.
Never mind.
Somebody must have interrupted me. For the following, oh boy, dockets. A 52, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, wait a minute, did I? Okay, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, and 85. Any additions or corrections? Motion for approval is
No.
submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Bradley, second by Mr. Gallagher.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Brad,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes.
Motion for approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Maschke,
Call the roll. Call the roll.
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Dink, Mr. Gallagher.
Yes.
Yes.
Any further official business? Hearing none, the
Yes.
meeting is adjourned.
Hello? Yeah, my name is
Hello.
Dwight McKinney. Yes, I'm talking about Tracy L. Wilson. I was one Dwight McKinney. You asked for a document number on the letter, and I got it. And I told you I'll be back with it.
Okay.
The number is 105-16059. Tracy L. Wilson. The address is 904 East 73rd Street, Cleveland, Ohio.
So, Mr. Chairman, this is where we would have to defer to Carmella to whether or not she has anything pending with it, but I don't know where he got the letter from. It sounds like it was not from the board. So I don't know what he's looking at, and I don't know where to send him. So
Right.
I'm presuming he doesn't have an appeal.
Right.
Okay. So we're done. Is that correct?
Sir, you can email me.
You
We're
talking to
looking
me?
at,
Yes.
Yes. And we it at a later date because I'm not quite sure what you received.
Now you're talking about March 3rd. You'll let us know about that. Is that
I need you
correct?
guys, I need the board members to stay on after the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Tom and Patty. If is Dennis still on?
Are we ending the meeting now?
Yes, the meeting's over.
You can put
All right, I'm
everybody
gonna
else
stop,
out.
I'm gonna stop the recording.
What'd you say?
Dennis?
Maurice, if you can, Christopher Rob.